So what we have here is an audio mixer. So as you can see, this is the rear panel of the audio mixer, and we have got number of inputs and outputs here. So what this is the power input, then you have the power switch, then you have these are the inserts, line, this is input which is in the form of XLR. So as you can see, this is an XLR input, and then these are the other peripherals. So coming to the inputs, so these are the separate channels. So this is like a 16 channel mixer. So what happens here is you have each channel has inputs. So what you have here is like the XLR input. Then if you don't have the XLR input, you can go in for a line input. This is the TRS type of socket. Then you have insert here. So insert is meant for, like, if you want to plug in any external DSP. DSP means like digital signal processor. So what it does is it loops the signal and brings it back through the DSP. So that is how it is. So as you can see, it's all connected over here. So it's connected through these XLR inputs. Then you have this as a line input. So either your line input or your XLR input will work. Both cannot work simultaneously together. And then you have this, which is the insert, as I told you, for looping it through any external DSP. So this is the rear panel. Then you have the outputs. So as you can see, these are the master outputs going out into the sound monitor, and you have another, like you have dual output here. So one you can use for monitoring, and the other also you can use for sub monitoring. So you can group channels and send it out through the various type of outputs. So as you can see below also, you have different type of outputs. So this is like a basic output input, you can call it IO, input output panel for an audio mixer. So coming to the front panel, what we have here are the separate tracks. So as I told you, this is a 16 track mixer. So you can see the 16 tracks: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. So these are, I'll show you what exactly each track contains. So you call it a strip, a channel strip. So we'll start from the beginning, from the top. So what happens here is the first like the function that you have on each strip is like the gain. So what does a gain do? Gain basically, whenever a signal is coming into your channel strip, so you set the levels through the gain control. So a gain control is the primary point wherein you set the levels first. So how much exactly your signal which is coming in should be, so you set it from gain. Then this is a padding. So as you know, as I've already explained, like the audible frequency is from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. So this padding, what it does is it will cut off all the frequencies below 100 hertz. So it will pad it, right? So that is what this padding is. So many a times you get rumble and all coming in from the environment. So through the mics, maybe your mic stand is placed somewhere, and then there are these trucks or heavy vehicles going from outside the studio. So all that can be cut down through this padding. Then this is the equalizer section, wherein you can see you have the HF. HF means high frequency, medium frequency MF, and this is basically what happens is you can set the frequency, and then you have the Q factor to shelve it. So how much exactly you want to cut that or boost that particular frequency. So as you can see, medium frequency is from 150 hertz to 3.5 kilohertz. So you can adjust it. Then the center point is 750 hertz, so you can adjust the frequency and then trim it. Like you can boost it by 15 dB or you can cut it by 15 dB. Then comes your low frequency. So low frequency, as you can see, again you can boost it up to 15 dB or cut it by 15 dB. Then you have the auxiliary inputs. So auxiliary is meant for like these auxiliary 1, auxiliary 2. What it does is the yeah, the audio that is like pre-mixed or which is coming in the channel strip but still not going into the fader. So what happens is you can take those signals out from here, from aux 1 or aux 2, or maybe if you have an external device with a feed, like you've added some reverb or echo, so you can add it through this. So what it does, it the signal will pass out, go into the DSP processor and then come back into your mixer. So this is for pre or post. So pre-post means what, like pre-fader or post-fader. So that is how it works. So this is how it is. And it's got like 3 auxiliary uh, like points, and then comes to your FX. So this mixer, this audio mixer has got, you know, inbuilt effects in it. So you can like set those effects and then control the levels with this FX knob. Then you have the pan, as I've already explained to you before. So this is like stereo mixer, and panning is like what, left or right. So stereo format, either you can what this pan does is like it will cut, if I move it towards the left, it's going to cut the signals from the right, and if you move it to the right, it's going to cut the signals from the left. So what this does is it will give you a feel like, you know, the sound is traveling either to the right or to the left. So you use this. So it's called balance also that way. So this button is for muting the channel strip. Then these are the outputs. You have the mix out, you have the solo out. Solo, if you switch on this option, what happens is all the other channel strips, the audio coming from other channel strips will be cut, and only the signal coming into this channel strip will sound. And this is the entire mix. This is the submix. So it decides, like it's got 2 outputs. One is with the submix and one is the master mix. So where exactly you want the sound of this channel strip to go. So you can choose both, or you can choose either of these 2. And then you see here, this is the fader. So fader has also got like a direct or pre. So this is for, you know, if you select this switch, so there's got, this is the mixer has got one levels meter also. So this is going to show you, like, you know, how much the signal is going out. So you can choose from this channel strip whether you want to check the signal going out from the pre-fade or the post-fade, right? So that is what this switch is meant for. And this is the fader. You call this the fader, and it's in the logarithmic form. So if you see here, you will see like it's minus 30 dB, then minus 20 dB, then minus 15. And as you see, as you go up, you will see the division, the dBs, the division reduces. So here, like, you have from 30 to 20, which is like 10 dB. But if you come and see here, it is just like 5 to 10. It's just 5 dB difference. It's because this entire strip is in the logarithmic form. So that is why you know, you have it calibrated this way. And the ideal position is that you should set this fader to 0 dB, and then from your gain you must control it in a way that here, if you see in the levels meter, it should not cross 6 dB, because if it shoots above 6 dB, then the signal is cracking, it's being overdriven, so volume will not increase, only thing is like the voice will start cracking. So ideal point is 0 dB, as I've always been telling you, and also in your Adobe Audition, wherever you are working, the maximum point is 0 dB. So we'll try to create we'll try to maintain our signals at 0 dB, but this is just for little fluctuation. But in no way would we ever want the signal to touch red, right? So this is how you have it over here. Then as you can see, this is the sub mix out and this is the master mix out. So as I had shown you here, in these buttons, if you select this button which is sub, so the output would go out into this, and then if you select the mix, it will go out into the mix. So this is basically for monitoring different you can create a group and put it in this, maybe like some 4 people talking, so you can add it here, and then you can have a separate track wherein music is coming in. So you can have a master mix, and then you can control this also, wherein like you're controlling the voices, and then this is the master mix. So this is how the audio mixer looks like. And apart from that, you have, as I told you, you have the inbuilt effects section. So short form of effects is FX. So you have the various presets over here which you can set, so broadly speaking, and then you have the entire list of the different effects which are already, like, you have the presets. So this is broadly how an audio mixer is. And then, as I told you, the signal goes out into the audio monitor. So this is like your audio monitor. You have, like, this is the cone, and this controls or throws out the central frequencies, and this little thing is for the high frequency, and both of them are aligned in such a manner that the signals coming out from your high frequency speaker and the full range speaker, they coincide together and reach your ear together. So as you know that sound is like it's like a sine wave. So actually it's like you have to align the frequencies together so they don't mismatch. So this is like a pro high end monitor, and I'll show you how to attenuate it. So attenuation is from here. The best practice is to maintain everything in 0 dB. So your HF is in 0 dB. Then you have your low frequencies, which also you would keep in 0 dB, as you can see here. And this is the volume. So we keep it at 12 o'clock. So this position is called as 12 o'clock. Then you have the various, ways you can input your sound. So this is basically an XLR jack going into the speaker, the audio monitor, and uh, these controls are basically meant for calibrating and tuning the speakers as per the environment, because sometimes the environment is such that it automatically boosts low frequencies, or maybe it would alter the high frequency. So there's an entire process of calibrating and equalizing the sound environment. So these two features in this monitor helps with that. So this is what we have in our audio mixer and output device. And so the peripherals that are coming through this goes into the monitor, which is in the control room of the studio. And then here you see these are the feed coming in from the studio environment, the mics and all. You can also uh, you know configure your laptop or your desktop, a computer with it, for taking in external sound, like maybe some music or sound effects and features like that. And also with the outputs you can record on your system. So that is how the entire thing is configured. And also you take the feed of the mics. So this is basically the feature of an audio mixer, which is a very important component of the studio Whenever you're talking of studio production, this is a very, very important component. And other than this, uh, in a radio studio, you also have a feature wherein you press that button so you go live on air. So otherwise, all the features are more or less the same in any audio mixer or a broadcast mixer. So this is the basics of uh, an audio mixer which you have in the radio production studio, and you can use it for both purpose, for going live and for pre-production purposes. So this pretty much describes about how and the functions of an audio mixer.